All right, so it says we're live. Let me just make sure. Gotta check the old phone. And there we are with our fade in red and everything else with our crappy wireless internet connection. Awesome. Hey, everybody. Good evening. Hopefully, everybody's having a great day today. This is episode 6 of Into the Week. And obviously, you guys know that we kind of do our little weekend chat every Sunday. At least this is going to be kind of a deal for me. And we go from there. So, hello, everyone. Hopefully, everybody is here. And, very quickly, I will check out. So far, we only have 5 people, a whopping 5. Oh, now 13. So, Rabbi Jesus is here. Nick Rodriguez, Scott, Logan, Carcane. Let's see. I'm going down the list of everybody. C. Kim. Art Imla is here, my friend. Let's see. Who else? I think that's about it right now. Dennis B. in the house. And Kathleen is here, of course. The Armsman, hello, sir. Ferrets with Gun, hello. James Massey, hello. Young Guns, 173 S West or Southwest. 173 Southwest. G-Man is here, hello, sir. Pat is here. Keith Gregory, what's up? So, good evening, everybody. So there's a lot of cool things that happened this week for me. Some interesting things, gun things, which is kind of exciting. And then obviously we can talk a little bit about that little kind of weasel named Beto and his statements. So we can talk about that a little bit too as well. But kind of exciting for me in a couple of different ways. One of the things that I'm noticing about my tastes in guns, and maybe this has happened to all of you out there, but one of the things that I've definitely noticed is that my tastes are starting to change considerably. I've actually, again, I'm never going to abandon polymer completely because they serve too many good purposes and there's too many good options out there to abandon them completely. But I have noticed that I've actually been going towards metal guns more and more importantly, actually hammer-fired guns, which is kind of interesting because, we live in obviously the modern age, and I think obviously people in some circles have discounted the usefulness of hammer-fired guns, whether it's single action only, double action, single action, whatever it might be. But I've actually found myself going more towards that direction, which is kind of interesting. Now, in regards to some of the things that I have found, which was kind of cool. So I did post a couple of things. I did wind up finally seeing the Ep.6 Centurion RDO that finally came into my local gun shop, and I did trade in my Centurion for that one, plus a couple of bills. But obviously I got to hand that in and wait about 3 years before I can get it. But it actually looked pretty cool. I mean, it's basically Centurion, has the plate cover, and then you basically have a bunch of plates in there. I think 4 plates, but I didn't really get a good look at to what they are. But I shouldn't have any issues mounting the Holosun 508T on there if I ever get it, of course. And right now, the Ep.6 RDO looks pretty sweet. I mean, there's a lot of cool things about it, and I love the Centurion line or the Ep.6 line as a whole. So I think that was really cool. Also, I did put some money towards a SIG P229 Dark Elite, which was used, but it came with 4 magazines. It has the crappy rear sight, which you can't do anything with unless you go with, I think, who has that? Somebody has a rear sight for it. So I'm going to be putting a different rear sight on that, and the front sight is dead completely as well. So I have to do some work with that, and the grips were horrible because whoever owned it before me sanded them down to basically nothing. So there's some work that has to be done with that gun, but it was a good price. Why the hell not? And that's going to be my P229, which I'm pretty excited about. It has the SRT trigger standard, which is pretty cool. And also, if you hadn't seen it, this weekend I also found a Beretta 92 FS Inox. And, guys, since I bought this gun right here, and this is the M9A3, which, by the way, it's incredibly awesome, this gun. And if you don't have one, save your money like I did, trade some stuff in like I did, and get one. It is super awesome. I love the gun quite a bit. So I just happened to walk into my local gun shop because I've been on a hunt for used guns. Like, to me, used guns are kind of like the treasure chest of guns because most people buy them, they never shoot them, they leave them in the safe, and then they sell them for like half the price that they bought it for. And then you have the luxury of picking them up at a reasonable cost. So I walked in, a couple of the guys working behind the counter who know me because they know I'm in there way too much. And, they had the 92 Inox. And more importantly, they didn't even know it was a ghost model, which means everything is completely stainless, including all the controls. So I jumped right on it. It hadn't even been put out on the floor yet. So I went in the next morning, talked to the owner of the place, and then he hooked me up with a very good deal on that gun. which I'm pretty excited about. So at some point that'll be coming my way. I'm going to do nothing with that gun. I'm going to leave it as is, put some new grips on it probably. But other than that, that's it. And it's going to be a pretty cool gun to add. And more importantly, the story behind that gun, which is one of the reasons why I decided to jump on it, is the gentleman that is actually who owns the gun or who owned the gun. He's actually dying of cancer right now. So he's basically selling all of his guns so that his wife doesn't have to deal with it when he goes. And so I said to myself, I'm going to get that gun because to me, that's a gun guy who unfortunately is passing away. And I think because he took such good care of it, I mean, the thing is in pristine shape. I felt like that would be a good gun for me to own, so that ultimately that's something that'll stay with me for forever, and then eventually to my kids and so on and so forth. But no, I am not turning into the Yankee Marshal. So how dare you say that, Kathleen? That's a horrible thing to say. So I think that's pretty cool, and I can't wait to pick that up. And ultimately, like I said, that'll be a review. But the thing was in, I mean, absolutely perfect shape, man, perfect shape. All right, and I think that's pretty much it. And oh, here's the other thing. So the Masada that is an MIA handgun right now. I talked to a couple of people. I've been going back and forth with the sheriff. Supposedly he's going to be having a meeting with all the court officers who signed for these guns to be added to find out what's going on and why there's such a long wait, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, I actually found out that the judge who actually has my amendment to my license, he's actually refusing to sign anymore. So that's it's pretty amazing. So the reason why he is because recently, a couple of weeks ago, he had signed an amendment for somebody else, and then that person went out, killed his father, and then killed himself. So now he's quote unquote afraid to sign any more amendments. So that's basically what the holdup is. Unfortunately, this judge has mine, and I have no idea what's going to happen. So that's really, really interesting. All right, so let's see what we got going on here. So Lamont, man, that's a new guy. I've never heard you before. Says in the last year, I've made a drastic move to DASA hammer fire. No serious planning, just found myself moving, which is kind of interesting because that's where I was at too. I definitely started to say to myself, this is something that I personally didn't think was going to happen. And I think what's happened to me is that there's just been so much in regards to polymer guns coming out that it's just like, it's kind of just saturated the market too much. And so we haven't really seen a ton of stuff that is new, that's really new, hardcore new. And so that's why I think I'm going to more metal guns, more hammer fired guns, things that I really haven't had much experience with in the past, with the exception of my CZs. And I tell you, I've been really enjoying it. It started with the P225A1, fantastic gun, by the way. And now the 229, now the 90-2, which we're going to talk about in a second. And then, of course, also now the 92FS Inox, which is pretty darn sweet. Let's see. Let's see. Here's some comments. Yep, it's certainly a shame. Rabbi, it would be nice if he would recuse himself, since he cannot perform his duties, but none of them can, apparently. And so, yes, the judge is refusing my rights because of the acts of a criminal. That is correct, sir, which, again, this is nothing new. We know this is the kind of the status quo for the gun community at this point. It's hard to petition it because they're all in different offices. So I'm going to reach out to the sheriff again this week and find out what is the issue with this. Once the judges have it in their chambers, they don't actually switch. It goes to them only. So I have a couple of more things I got to hand in this week, and I'm going to tell them when I hand it in, I do not want it going to that judge, and we'll see. Hopefully that'll work. Let's see. Anthony is saying my gateway gun to a double action single action was the PX4. That was a good gun. Unfortunately, I've had to sell some things in order to kind of move forward with things. I know that's never usually the popular thing, but unfortunately, self-funded channels, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And I actually sold a gun that I never thought I was going to sell, but I did, to put it down towards the FS Inox because I just had to. It was such a nice gun, and it was something that I had to do. So unfortunately, I got rid of my Steyr. That's right. I said it. I got rid of my last Steyr. So initially I wasn't going to do it, and then I said screw it. And the reason why I said screw it was because ultimately I'm going to get my hands on the MF2 and the M series. So to me it was expendable at this point. So not a popular thing for me, but damn it, sometimes you do what you got to do. And that Inox is a beauty, man. Absolute beauty. Keith is asking me, do I like 1911s? Yes and no. And I like some 1911s. I like more compact 1911s, obviously. but I personally don't like single action only triggers, not because they're not beautifully sweet and smooth, but unfortunately because I just don't like carrying cocked and locked. I just don't like that for my own personal self, but everybody's different. Well, thank you, Jim Gregory. I really, really help. Thank you. I don't even know what else I'll say, guys. I really appreciate it. I also want to say that those of you who have actually come over to the dark side with me and subscribed to Subscribestar, I appreciate that. 4 people, which I never thought I'd even get one, but I got 4 people so far. It's $3 a month, and it does help. I'm not going to lie. Again, no pressure here. You don't have to if you don't want to, but so far the 4 of you who have, I do appreciate it. And again, we just keep marching forward. Viborg in the house. What's up, buddy? Let's see. I am wearing shorts because it's still warm. What do you guys think I do? I got kids in the house, man. I'm not gonna walk around parading myself. I am beautiful, but I don't want to parade. I don't want too much being shown because you know how that is. When you're this sexy, it's hard for people to resist. Let's see. Art is saying, why need the star when the Caracol will come? The Caracol is still, I haven't heard from them in a week, so I'll probably reach out to them as well. Ultimately, if, like I said, I'm not going to mince words. If the Caracol comes back and it's working, it'll be kept for a while, and I'm going to put it through its paces. I'm going to shoot that bad boy. I probably put 1,000 rounds through that before I trust it. If there's one little blink on that thing, one little issue at all, that gun is gone. Absolutely gone. Scott is saying the Ghost 92 is worth it. It was. Look, when you see something like that, you definitely have to move on it. And unfortunately, and I'm not even a stainless steel guy. I don't like stainless pistols at all. But that gun was just beautiful. I mean, it's a beautiful gun. It's not perfect by any means, but at the same time, it's just one of those rare things that you come across. And for me right now, I'm looking for things that are in good shape, that are used, but also have a little bit of rareness or rarity to them. And when you find a gun like that, you have to do it. At least I didn't, and I'm okay with that. I'm not Will Rogers. What Beretta should I buy next? I have the M9. You can go with a 92X. Those look pretty cool. But honestly, I don't know if I would get an M9 or 92X because to me, this gun is fantastic. There's no reason to get it. I would absolutely look at an RDO. I think the APX RDOs are pretty sweet. Yes, unfortunately, it is gone. I can't believe it. C. Kim is saying it is totally safe, but you know what? I'm not gonna tell you guys what to carry and how to carry it. I personally just don't feel comfortable with it, and that's me. Let's see. I did stay a little polymer influence with it. I have a Phantom coming as well, so like I said, I'm not going to abandon polymer at all. But at the same time, I'm definitely looking for more interesting guns to me. Something that's not a run of the mill, so to speak. All right, let's see. Main topic for today. I don't really have one. If you're looking for an agenda, this is not the channel for you. I don't. I never really have agendas here. I just kind of go with it and whatever you guys want to do. Not Will Rogers saying, what was your subscription channel again? It's on Subscribestar. It's called my channel, 1776 or Bust. I'm sure you can find it. It's pretty simple. Art is pandering for me. I appreciate that, Art. Again, I do have pants on. Shorts. Not pants, but shorts. Let's see. So Knuckles is saying my 229 classic carry, 3 mags, night sights, G10 grips, and short reset trigger. Yeah, that's pretty good, man. $600 for that gun. The Dark Elite is a pretty cool gun. It's got the nice beaver tail on there. The sights absolutely suck. Well, they're dead anyway, so I'm going to switch those out. And the grips were terrible because the guys sand them down too much. But overall, it came with 4 mags, pretty sweet. And I'll tell you, I dry fired a couple times. The trigger is beautiful on that thing. There's something to be said with that SRT trigger. To me, that is the best single action trigger that's out for any double action, single action gun. Ty J, Caracol, massive disappointment. You are correct, sir. And, we're going to find out what happens. Like I said, it's been a week. I'm going to give him some time. But at the same time, it is what it is. I mean, I can't control what's going to happen afterwards. If it definitely works, then, we'll revisit it. I'm not going to not make a revisit video on it. I do want to give it its chance to kind of rectify whatever went wrong with this. However, at the same time, if it does fail, you guys are going to see that as well. I'm not going to hide that from anybody. All right, let's see. Rabbi saying, was the Caracol a T&E? No, sir, I bought that. I paid for it. Which was kind of, it was kind of, I don't, like I said, I can't blame anybody for not giving me a T&E gun. At the same time, it was a gun that I was totally into for the simple fact that Bubitz is the guy, hopefully I pronounced that right, was the guy who designed it. And since he was a part of Steyr, I just had to. And yeah, it was a terrible, terrible disappointment. Colt Anaconda for under 1,000. Jump on it. I'll do that. That's that big, ginormous revolver, I believe. Which, by the way, I am looking at a revolver right now. I never thought I'd say it, but they're the same guy who was selling that Beretta. He's actually put in a Colt. It's a Colt revolver. It is nickel plated, or nickel, I don't know, nickel plated. And it is a 38 Special Detective series, which apparently they don't make anymore. And the thing was pretty friggin' sweet. I'm not going to lie. I haven't been in the gun store today, so who knows if it's out. But it also is about, about money. Which, by the way, I had to put the Inox on layaway. So you got to pay it slowly. That's how it is sometimes. Let's see. Yes, it is Italian made, which is pretty sweet, and the black controls are U.S. made. I know that. That was I read up on that gun as soon as I saw it. Took my phone out, and I just had to be able to make sure I was making the right choice. And sure enough, man, absolutely beautiful. Grips. I'm actually looking at probably some wood grips, some dark wood grips, which I think would look pretty friggin' cool on that Beretta. But we'll see. We'll see. Dennis is saying I have to sell things that, yep, I agree. That's what you got to do, man. That's what I'm doing. Let's see. So Jim, I hate to tell you this, but I got a 229. It's a Dark Elite. I bought it used on Gunbroker. A really good price. Came with 4 mags. A couple things need to be done to it. I need to get new sights for it, and I need to also get new grips for it, and probably drop a hammer spring in there. Hopefully it's a short hammer spring. I'm not sure. It's probably long, but if it's a shorty, then I got one that I'm going to put in there. I have to buy another long one if not. Peter K is saying, so no more e-cigarettes in New York. Yeah, that's been on the news. If you guys have been vaping, I see some guys on chat sometimes who are vaping, and I mean, it's just terrible, guys. I know it's supposedly healthier or whatever, but anytime you're putting crap in your lungs, it's never good, ever. So I just wanted to let you know that. I've been researching the IWI Jericho Compact. It's a nice CZ-like gun. Yep. The only thing I like about the IWI Jerichos is it's safety only. I just wish they'd throw a decocker on that damn thing because it's a fantastic gun. I had an opportunity to shoot the Magnum Research, which is basically the same gun, and it was great. It was a shot in 45, man. That thing ran so smooth. It was pretty awesome. Ranger Randy's saying, I like the 92 FS Inox Ghost. Found one about 2 years ago in great shape and bought it. Yep. Yeah, I actually looked up the one I got, and it's a 1994. So that's pretty cool, And the thing is like amazing. It's like an amazing shape. I don't even think it was shot because there's absolutely no markings on the barrel at all. So, I mean, it's just like, how do you pass that up, Rabbi with his to the side, my friend, to the side. Got to let him breathe. Yeah, I'm not wearing the Speedos today. Got to shave for that. All right, oh man, this is going so fast. Yeah, Jim, I actually did. I got a Dark Elite. I posted a picture of it on Instagram. So check it out. It's really nice looking. Very good shape gun. Again, I mean, this is the thing. Like, honestly, I would start recommend people start looking at used guns because there are so many out there right now that are in such good shape that have never been used and yet are at such crazy low prices, man. It's so awesome. It is. It's just nice. And Jim, yes, right now, the only other metal sig that I'm looking for that's, I don't want to say it's cheap because it's definitely not. Obviously, an Elite would be great, but they're so expensive. I actually would be looking next for an M11. That's kind of the next one I would like to get at some point. All right, let's see. So Art's saying, between Beto and the possible nationwide high cap mag ban, what bothers you more? From being behind enemy lines for so long, the high cap mag ban doesn't do anything for me either way. I mean, it's going to be what it is. I think what bothers me the most, and it's neither one of those, is the fact that everybody has ignored this. A lot of these people who come out saying they're pro 2A, and they're gun channels and they speak for everybody, that's not true. They've spoken only for themselves. And, when other states were suffering, California, New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut, a lot of these northeastern states especially, nobody really ever gave a shit. They basically said, oh, it's not my state, who cares? Or their, answer is always just move out of the state. And I've said it from day one since I've been doing these chats that the more you try to run away, the worse it's going to be. And ultimately, you're going to run out of real estate. So that's what you're seeing right now. And so nobody should be surprised at any of this. And Beto's a moron. I mean, the guy is an idiot. He's a trust fund baby. He says whatever is popular. And the way I look at it is, let him say whatever he wants to say. He's never going to win the presidency. And the guy probably has, less common sense than the table I'm using right now. So a guy like that means nothing to me. I have no respect for him. He tries to talk for the masses, but you know what? If you're a rich trust fund guy, you have no idea how it is to live paycheck to paycheck. You have no idea what it's like to struggle and to see struggling around you. And you could say, I empathize with you and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. But at the end of the day, what is his real track record? What has he ever done? What has he accomplished in his political career besides nothing? And then he goes out and, pounds his fist saying, I'm going to take away your ARs and AKs. Weapons of war, he called them. Well, then you'd have to take away my tomahawk. You're going to have to take away my machete. You're going to have to take away my knives. Why? Because those are weapons of war, pal. And, if you're going to take one away, take them all. As a matter of fact, take the ones that protect you away as well. So no, I'm not at all up on this guy. Jim Gregory, thank you, sir, again. I truly appreciate it. And that is definitely on the list. Absolutely. I also have something else right now that I'm working on that I'm not saying anything about it because I don't want to jinx myself. But if I get it, I'll be so happy and it'll be the last thing I buy of this particular brand. But that's all I'm saying. I'm not going to say anything else. Yeah, one of the things I noticed about the 229 was it's a lot thicker than I thought it would be. But again, it could be the grips. But it is. It's a solid gun, and that's what I was looking for. Would I carry that every day? I don't think so because I have the 225, which to me is just fantastic. Plus, I got the PO1 PCR, which by the way is right here. Love this gun. Just too many good stuff. It really is. Let's see. Art's talking to Scott. Any interest on an RX slide? Yeah, I would like to look at that too myself, but those are expensive too, man. Arm's been saying very true about most big channels. Many aren't as concerned until it hits home. Yep, and one of the other things that I've noticed is a lot of times the bigger channels really never give you their opinion on anything political because they don't want to alienate anybody. And unfortunately, I've always said this, that if you're a gun channel, you are political. And the reason being is because you are advertising and showing things that are the hottest political ticket right now. So for you not to take a stance on anything, I think is kind of a cop out. If I offend people with what I say, I will always say I'm sorry. And if I have offended you, you can contact me. You guys can talk to me and we can have that discussion. I have no problem ever talking about anything to anyone. But at some point, you have to take a stand. And if you are, in my opinion, just my opinion, which doesn't mean much, if you're a gun channel, you have a political message. And if you don't, then you're doing the wrong stuff because guns are political. They are absolutely 100% political. All right, let's see what else we got. Let's see. Art for gun sites for used pistols besides gun broker. Arms list is well used by me. Yeah, arms list is hit and miss. There's so many weirdos on arms list. I like gun broker, I'll be honest with you. You can also use gun.deals. Those are actually two decent ones. Gun.deals sometimes a little iffy, but I've always found the most success on gun broker. I really have. Scott, that's a big no. Yeah, interestingly enough, you're right. One of the, God, what was I going to say? On Subscribestar, I actually talk to the people who have subscribed and we kind of communicate back and forth. And one of the things I actually put them onto is a gun shop called, I can't remember. I think it's Oak Hill Guns. And that's out of PA, man. And they have some really good prices on some CZs. So you guys might want to check it out. All right, so Rabbi saying, if gun control is such a huge issue, why does a gun control post on Instagram have 9,000 views? Well, it's like anything else. Obviously, I'm sure they're playing around with, algorithms and all that other crap. But let's be honest, the Kardashians are more popular because they flash their ass. And unfortunately, maybe that's what we have to do too. But at the same time, it's pop culture, man. And pop culture is what it is. Guns are never going to be a part of pop culture. Not anymore. Maybe back in the day they were, but no, not now. And I don't see that happening soon. Let's see. Jim Gregg is asking, anyone have a 320 X5 Legion and the CZ TSO? Curious how they match up. I have neither one. I think it's two different beasts, obviously. The TSO, man, I did dry fire one. That friggin' single action is ridiculous. I mean, you just look at it and the trigger gets pulled. That's how smooth that trigger is. All right, so Uriel saying, getting ready to treat myself to my first pistol over 1,000. Shadow or Dan Wesson Guardian? I don't compete, but carry every chance I can. Both are long time wants. Your thoughts? Honestly, the Shadow is probably one you don't want. As far as I know, they do not have a drop safety in there. So God forbid you drop it, you're going to like blow your foot off or something like that. The Guardian, it's a Dan Wesson. You know it's going to run. You know it's going to be smooth as glass. I'm not necessarily a Dan Wesson fan, but if I was going to carry it, I'd go with the Dan Wesson. You guys can also chime in as well. Oh my God, this thing's going so fast. La la la. Oh, so Rabbi's saying, I'm not saying it's not the hot topic the media is pretending it is. Yeah, I mean, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Ranger 10 is saying that he has the X5 Legion, probably the best gun he's ever shot. So that's pretty cool. Take it from people who know what they're talking about with experience. Let's see. From now on into the week, needs to aim the camera at the bottom half to compete with the Cardell. Yeah, I got to show some booty, I guess. Dave Gass has his PC9 carbine. If you haven't seen it, check it out. He's plugging that right now. I have mine too. It's still in there. It's pretty cool. Have I ever thought about selling your guns to subs? I don't. I mean, sure, I guess. I don't care. If you want to buy it, you see something you like, if I want to sell it, why the hell not? I will tell you, I'm not going to give you a deal. I'm going to absolutely try to get maximum money out of it. So, just keep that in mind. Let's see. Knuckles is saying Guardian is a great carry gun. All right. Joshua is saying also he would carry a Dan Wesson. Let's see. Scott, Warwick, Rhode Island. That is one of the biggest. I know who you're talking about. I actually bought a P09 from them. And their prices are pretty good too. This Oak Hills Guns is also, it's kind of like the PA version of that, which is kind of cool. Let's see. Ripcord is saying I have a NSN number. I believe someone on here mentioned that not all PO1s have this number. So basically that means it passed all the NATO testing. It was one of the very few guns that could do that. The Omegas do not have that at all. These were the older PO1s that have that. Mine has it, but the Omega does not. Carcane saying, which is better truck gun, Ruger American 5.56 via AR mags or a Mossberg Shockwave in 12 gauge? I would go with a 5.56. That's what I would do. Although it's a bolt action. So I don't know. I mean, what do you feel quicker with? That shotgun thingy or, the Ruger American? I mean, obviously for chances of using it, concealability, the Shockwave is probably the better one to go with. Michelangelo is saying, just sign the manual and I'll be happy. Believe me, my signature is not worth anything. Will I autograph the guns? What do you guys think I am, Hickok? Yeah, I'll autograph it. I'll just put 1776 on it for you in black Sharpie. Cat Chaser. No, sir, I did not. That was one. Darn it, I forgot about it. This man is trying to make me buy a Taurus. It's never going to happen. Never. Let's see. A lot of good talking. So that's, Rabbi Jesus' hope about the G3. I don't think he will. I mean, he'll probably get it, but I don't think he'll do the other part of that. All right, so Kathleen wants to know, why do I like the Phantom and not the SPO1? My other dog is barking for some God knows reason upstairs. If you can hear that, that's my little rat dog. But I like the Phantom because of the weight. The weight is a huge thing. Like for a gun that big, most people won't carry it. But I have no problem carrying the Phantom. I had one before and I did carry it, which was a very comfortable carry. And so for me, I went with that because I felt like the weight would also be something to work with. However, the gun shoots nice. I don't have any experience with the SP1 Tactical or anything like that. But then definitely, I love the Phantom. It's a fantastic gun. Let's see. Michelangelo says, what if we sent you a Taurus? It would have to be 10 rounds. And I mean, I would shoot it. If you sent it, I'd shoot it. I don't care, but I don't want to buy one. I don't want to buy one. But then you'd have to wait like the 3 months it takes for me to get it. So I don't know if that's worth it for anybody. So Dennis is saying, open up the safe and let me in. No. I honestly, I have nothing else to sell that I want to get rid of at this point. I did some cleaning, man, this weekend. It shocked me at some of the guns I got rid of, but some of the guns that I picked up were just so worth it. I mean, they're just so damn worth it. It's not even funny. Let's see. I just missed one. Art is saying I got to throw my Speedo in. All right, there you go. That'll be another. That'll be at least 1K. Let's see. Home invasion. He's yelling at his dog to be quiet. It's no home invasion here. Trust me. I got a bigger dog, and that big dog ain't barking. The little one likes to bark. Jim is saying he'll never buy a Taurus. Yeah, it does nothing for me. I don't particularly care for those guns. I mean, yes, they're relatively cheap in price, but I still think if you look around, you can find better guns that are the same price. I mean, this past weekend I was looking at Gunbroker. There's some Shields, the old 1.0 versions, $250. So it's like, to me, it just doesn't seem like worth it. You have one with a really good track record versus one that's kind of mixed. Now, of course, there have been reviews where everybody loves this gun, but I don't particularly care for it. So I'm just scrolling down. Ba, 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 ba. No, I still have that. That won't go anywhere. That gun is too slick. Actually, that's right now. That's in my safe upstairs in my bedroom. It's my home defense gun. I'm sure Frank does. I think he laughs at me more than anything else. But he's great to work with. If you guys are around the Hudson Valley area, walk over to Small Arms. I would try to plug him as much as I can. He's just good to do business with, man. He's not going to rip you off. He's gonna tell you what you need to hear and move on from there. And I respect that. I like that. Let's see. Anthony is asking. Yeah, they're all nines. I've shot 45s. I had a 40 at one time. I'm not opposed to going a different caliber, but to me, it's always about cost effectiveness. Also, just the universal. What the hell's the word I'm looking for? The universal round to me is 9mm right now, so that's what I'm sticking with. Again, I do want to play around with 10mm a little bit because to me, that's the round that intrigues me the most at this point. Oh, Rabbi's getting rid of the staccato. That staccato. So yeah, I don't no experience with that. No real wanting experience with that. I mean, like I said, you guys know I look at I look at the price, and then Triple C is abandoning ship because he's got to go see his boyfriend, the Yankee Marshal. The most I've ever spent is on this one right here. This is the M9A3. This was about, oh my God, it's pointing at the camera. That was close to like $900. It was a little over $900 about that. So that's okay. No problem. Yankee Marshall has been live for an hour and a half. My God, how can you talk for an hour and a half? Eesh, yuck. Let's see. Jim is saying trigger on his G2C was an issue. Felt like it broke like oatmeal. I mean, I've dry fired one and the trigger goes like 400 yards back. No thanks. Rabbi's telling him to kiss him hello for us. That's funny. Tangfoglio Witness Pro 10mm. Nice. Thank you, Art. I appreciate that. So give a thumbs up or not. Don't care. It's up to you guys. Peter K is saying Yankees, me and me. Yeah, me and eyes. Lots of me and eyes. An hour and a half would be a form of torture. Ay, ay, ay. The hate continues. And I'm not trying to call the guy out or anything, because then he gets all angry and shit. But ugh. Like I watched some of his stuff, and he does some good stuff. I'm not gonna lie and tell you that he's all bad. I do like the fact that he gives away a gun to people who don't have it, the Veterans Fund and the Puppy Fund. I'm okay with all of that. It's just some of the other things that I think are just way too much drama for me. Yeah, it's like ugh, whatever. Dennis is saying he wants 10mm for a backup gun when I go off the grid. Yeah, I mean, it would be cool to just have one of those. Again, I've never shot one, but it would be, I know I would probably love it. I'm late to the party. It's okay, Pistol Pete. I'm glad you're here anyway. Carcane saying he would rather watch a 48-hour marathon of The Angry Hobbit or spend your own money on a Taurus. Or would I? Um, oh boy, damn. Would I rather watch a 48? I think I would rather watch the 48-hour marathon just to watch him suffer. I think that's pretty much. Now, that's not true. I just want to shoot one. I want to have the experience. I've never had one, so I'd like to try it, which I don't think there's anything wrong with that, sir. Let's see. I think in the right environment, 10 millimeter makes sense. For the most part, 9 millimeter does everything else for me. Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends. I think 9 millimeter, I think for the most part, is going to do what you need it to do if you ever had to use it. Most people are not wearing body armor, so that's a good thing. Obviously, if you wear thicker clothing, that kind of stuff, maybe a little more velocity. Um, but 10 millimeter would be fun. Yeah. Now, it would be cool to see some other gun manufacturers coming out with the tens, but I don't know if I don't know if there's enough demand for that. Uh, yep, I would agree. Let's see. Michelangelo is asking me, in my opinion, was the best double action, single action under 600 that is not a CZ? Man, that's a good question. Under 600 bucks. Shit. What would be a good one? Double action, single action that's not a CZ. Well, I'll tell you, Beretta PX4, those are really good. Those are excellent guns. And you can play around with them a little bit, change some springs out, and they get even better. But that would be a recommendation. You can find those under 500 sometimes. The Berettas, I don't know if I'd pick a Beretta for like the 92 series or anything like that, because those are a little bit bigger, heavier. But if you're looking for something for conceal, I mean, to me, a PX4 is a good one to go with. Let's see. Sorry, guys, but this is going really fast. All right, I will not call you sir anymore. Pistol, I did slightly cover it. I have not heard anything yet. It's been a week, so I'll probably reach out to them this week and see what the deal is, see if they have any updates. But again, I don't want to be, unrelenting on them just yet. Ripcord saying he called Steyr. The MNC conversions will be out in January 2020. The L model is out now. All models will be back at black at first, but in time, other colors will follow, which is pretty cool. That's sort of why I'm waiting. I really want an M version more than anything else, so I'm going to wait for it to come out in that. Let's see. Oh, that's a good. This one's good. The SP 2022, and there's some mixed baggage on that. I mean, some people have had issues with them, but for the most part, it's been very positive. But the SP 2022 is a pretty cool one. I think that's pretty good too. Trigger's a little bit, whatever, but I think it's pretty good. Rabbi Jesus saying the same thing. There you go. Channel Cat is saying an FN, FNX. Those can be had fairly cheap as well, and that's a good choice. Claymore also saying PX4. Let's see. A lot of people talking about the Glock 20 and the 10 millimeter, which is kind of cool. The P30s can be had for 550 or less. The only thing that I've seen on P30s though is the trigger is really kind of weird. It's not a very great. It's not a good trigger. That's what I've seen. I've never owned one, but just from what I've seen. I have seen that double stack, which is kind of cool. It's a big sucker, but that's pretty cool. So, okay, so Jim is saying I'll only make deposits on your SIG purchases. No problem, buddy. So yeah, the M11 is still that's the one I'm looking for, the M11 right now. But I mean those are pricey, man. Holy crap. I also looked at a P229. Crap, what was it? 229 Combat, which is kind of cool as well. But we'll see how it plays out. Rabbi Jesus is involved in a bromance. Congratulations, sir. We wish you nothing but the best. So Rabbi's saying if you get the right trigger. So tell us which one it is. The LEM. That's what I was. I don't know which one it is. What is version 2, version 3? I'm not sure. So you have to educate us, sir. So there's a lot of good choices. So if you're looking for that double single action that is under 600 bucks, there's a lot of good choices out there that don't have to be CZs. Although I mean, for some people that's crazy. Um, have you shot or do you own the Cadet 22 slide on a CZ? I do not. I know that Big Johnson does. He has one for the P07. You know, I don't really know if I'd want to do something like that. I mean, it would be cool if somebody's starting out shooting and you want to give them a regular gun and have that ability to do it. But I would just rather just stick with the 9 millimeter. 229 RX compact. Those were cool. I saw one that was used, and I was bidding on it, and it's kind of funny because every time I go in and I try to bid on something, I always have a top price like that. Once I hit that price, I don't go any further, And I was right there. I think my bid was like 650, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna win this. And then like the last hour, it just went up and up and up and up. So I wound up selling for like almost $800. So I was like, I'm out on that. But that still, I kind of look at it and say, boy, that probably was a good price for that. Really nice gun, though. So Knuckles is saying they don't feel good. The HK triggers don't feel good dry firing, but shoot great for me anyway. Yeah, it's pretty long reset. I agree with that. And then Channel Cat Chaser saying buy a dedicated 22. Kathleen saying she's got the Cadet for the P09. So Kathleen, let everybody know what your experience is with that. C. Kim is saying buy that Ruger Mark Series pistol. Those are pretty cool too. I don't know. I don't really know if I would want to go back to shooting a 22. I just feel like it's kind of a waste of time. I guess, I guess there's a purpose to it. I'm not sure what it is yet. Let's see. Rabbi saying Smith & Wesson makes a great little 22 that operates like a conventional 9 millimeter. So that's pretty cool. I just don't know. I don't know if I got ever go back that route. I just can't see just running 22. It's just, I think it's everybody's personal opinion, and basically what they want. Artist saying the Romeo 1 aren't consistent or reliable enough for me. RX slide is great, but it needs to be milled for an RMR or a DPP. So that's interesting. Let's see. Channel Cat is getting frustrated because it's America's favorite round. It might be. It's killed a lot of deer, that's for sure. Kathleen saying the Cadet works okay, but makes the pistol very filthy, and that would be the 22. Rabbi saying it's good for training new shooters, and I agree. I think it is. But I wonder if you could get away with doing an airsoft type gun for less price. I don't know, maybe. Rabbi saying he owns a $600 22 target pistol as one of the funnest pistols he owns. I know, because there's no recoil. You just shoot it all day long. Keith is saying he'd rather shoot a 22 Magnum. I shot one of those. Those are pretty cool, too. Let's see. Pistol Pete, 45 auto, 2 World Wars. All right. Yeah, the Thunderbolts are kind of fun, too. Those are fast little bastards. I like those. I like the Thunderbolt round. Those are pretty cool. All right. So a lot of people talking about their shadows and all that other stuff. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Michelangelo saying T-Rex Arms did a video on a Japanese guy that only played airsoft, had good fundamentals when it came to shooting actual guns. I have a Walther PPQ airsoft gun, and it's awesome. It basically the whole lower is just like it, So I was pretty happy with it. I was playing with it, shooting it outside. I got some clay pigeons and shot the crap out of those. It was a lot of fun. It was absolutely a lot of fun. And actually, that's how I got my son involved in shooting, was just to getting it. I really got it for him. And we went outside and he loved it. And it's a lot of fun, I have to say. And, it's not very costly. Art is saying is needed for new shooters as well as the crack, which airsoft won't do. That is true. That is true. Well, I thank you, sir. I appreciate you liking these chats. I like these chats too. And then he's talking about his 507C, calling it the poop. I have the 508T, the titanium version, so it's a little bit heavier, and so far it's sitting in a box. so that's exciting. It gets us in the box all the time because, the gun that I have for it, I can't get. Go figure that one. Let's see. Jim Gregory saying I picked up a Colt 1903, 1917 date of manufacture. I said, that's pretty sweet. Those are unique. Like that's the kind of gun you got to look for, man. And if you find one and it's in good shape, boy. As a matter of fact, it's kind of funny you say that because the guy who sold the 92 Inox and also the Colt revolver I was telling you about, he actually turned in a high power, and it's a Belgium high power. So that thing it's awesome. However, the problem is it came with high cap mags or regular capacity magazines, so he can't sell it right now because you don't have any magazines for it. But the thing was beautiful. I mean, like I said, this guy, he had great taste in guns. Whoever he was, whoever he is, he has great taste in guns, but he did not shoot a lot. That's for sure. Rabbi saying they think they're battlefield condition. You don't shit your pants and scream inside. That is very true. That is funny. Pistol Pete is saying still no on the Masada. Nope, I haven't gotten it. The judge is refusing to sign more paperwork because he's afraid, and that's a true statement, which is crazy when you think about it. How many am I missing right now? Well, I'm missing that one, and I'm missing the Phantom so far, and I'm about to hand in 3 this week, so it'll be a total of 5. So hopefully at some point in the next generation, I'll be able to pick it up. And Kelvin is saying that the Holosun 508T is actually lighter. Really? See, I didn't know that. I thought it would be a little bit heavier because of the titanium, but I guess the titanium is what makes it lighter. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, like I said, it's in a box. It's in the safe. It's in a box. It's doing nothing. It's so frustrating. Let's see. La, la, la. Yeah, see, Kim, I don't know what the price is going to be on that thing, and all the guys working there are waiting because they've got their claws in it already. So the likelihood of that being out in the cabinet is probably 0 because somebody already is going to be scooping that gun up. But I think it was beautiful. It was pretty freaking sweet. The trigger was, I mean, that was an amazing gun just to like touch and look at. It was that cool. See you later, Rabbi. It's always good having you on here. Appreciate it. So the bromance is now coming to an end. Music is saying that she tries to shoot 50 rounds a week. Yeah, I mean, just get out there and shoot. Oh, Ray, that hurts my feelings, man. You forgot. Every Sunday, buddy. We're going to be doing this every Sunday, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And if you can join us, great. If not, no problem. Like I said, it's if you can join us. Right now we have apparently 77 people watching, which is pretty good in my opinion for one single guy who has, 10K subs, man. So not bad. Let's see. Nick is saying if the judge can't set a date when he will start signing them again, when is he? Then he is violating your rights. Technically, is that's why I've been in touch with the sheriff of the county to see what he's willing to do about it. And again, this was something that I just found out this past week that he literally was refusing to sign because he was afraid. So I don't really know, man. I don't know what the hell that's about. I don't know how it's possible, where you got people who are just there to sign a freaking piece of paper, man. Just do it. And his excuse of, well, I signed that paperwork for the guy who committed the crime, but that goes for anything. I mean, you could give somebody a driver's license and they could go plow into a family in a minivan. Does that mean you stop assigning driver's licenses? Of course not. But, like I said, just another excuse. Music's asking how many people do people shoot a week, or how many rounds? How many people? How many rounds do you shoot in a week? Well, I thank you, Channel Cat. Appreciate that. Keith, thank you, sir. Will Rogers saying I should move to a free state. I can't, dude. I just can't right now. I'm gonna be here I'll tell you right now, I know for a fact, based on work, based on my situation here, I'm gonna be in this god awful place for 15 more years. And so, as I've said earlier, you just can't do that. You can't run away because you're starting to see what that trickle effect is. Right now, you have states that at one time were strong red states turning into blue states. And you're seeing that they keep passing these legislation in all these other states that we've been dealing with for years. So people shouldn't be running away. People should be supporting and pushing the agenda of the gun community in these states that are under attack. Okay, so Ripcord is saying his P01 is a safe queen. I don't know the coating they use on the slide, but it looks very soft and would scratch very easily. I know that the green ones are polycoat. I'm assuming that the polycoat is probably what they used on the Urban Gray. And yeah, the coating on the slides of all P01s are not very good in my opinion. Like my black P01, which I do carry still, it sucks, and so does the PCR actually. The coating is crap. You do anything to it, it nicks it. It's not very good. It's not very strong. Yes, that is very true. Bartenders, because when you drink and drive, it's got to be the bartender's fault. So a lot of people are answering 300, 500, 100, 200. I would say bi-weekly. I can't go every week, but bi-weekly I go to the range and I'm shooting probably anywhere from 500 to 1,000 rounds. So it's expensive, but you know what? You put some money here and there, you look for sales, and then you just jump on it. That's why when everybody asks me, well, what ammo do I buy? I'm not brand specific. I buy whatever's cheap. And as long as it's a reliable brand, like I'm not a big fan of the white box stuff. Knuckles saying polycode is basically paint. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's not really anything that's going to hold up. But again, you can always send it out and get it Cerakoted, which brings me to my next topic. So for those of you who have been watching some of my pictures come up, and those of you who are, up on Subscribestar with me, I actually posted some pictures of the 90-2, the Beretta, and I don't have it yet. Hopefully it'll be coming in this week. I'm super, super excited. So basically, I sent it out to 3 Gulf Gunworks, and this was somebody who was recommended by KS. So I wanted to try somebody new. I've done work prior with that to another gun with Skyworks, which did a great job. But I wanted something to do in house with the with not only the Cerakote job but also the stippling on the grip. So I actually got it over to them. He had it for a couple of weeks. I was in no rush anyway, and I trust the guy. He's awesome, by the way. And he finally sent me some pictures of some of the product that was being finished. And my God, this guy, I mean, this gun, when I get it, I can't wait to show people what this guy did with this gun. Not only is the Cerakote job fantastic, but also the stippling job he did on the removable grip, unbelievable. That's all I can say. And like I said, I can't show it to you now. Again, if you can, if you want to, you can subscribe over there to Subscribestar, $3 a month. I'm going to plug that as much as I can. Go and definitely check that out. And I put a picture up of what I have. And the thing is beautiful. And as Dennis B says, the 90-2 looks amazing. I just can't say enough how amazing this guy did this gun. And the only thing I can say is I'm going to send more crap to him because he just did a bang-up job on it. And an artist saying, holy Lord, I almost forgot where's the 90-2. Hopefully it's coming. Hopefully it's coming this week. I just got to get him to finish it up. He's got to finish up some other things. I had sent a couple of other, like the safety to him and everything. So he's going to Cerakote that, the slide or the barrel and everything. So it's going to be pretty sweet. Can't wait. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's just fantastic. Pistol Pete saying the country is under attack, not state specific. Right. And initially, and I agree with that. And initially it was state specific. And for all those people who never really backed up any of these states that were suffering under these rules, now you're starting to see what that leads to. And there really should have been, and this is why I blame like big groups like the NRA and GOA and all these other groups. The more they ignored these states, they didn't see the bigger picture. And the bigger picture wasn't just the state suffering, but everybody who eventually was going to be affected by this. So it was kind of like, it's too late for New York or California, but now you're seeing it happen in other states. And I think ultimately that's where the problem was. Nobody really, really understood that at the time, except for the people living behind enemy lines. Caramel Revolver is saying, do you think Beto, saying what he said about ARs and AKs is good, actually? I think it is, because I think it woke up a lot of people. I think it woke up a lot of people who may be on that side of the aisle, but yet like their guns. And I think for him in a later speech where he talked about being at a gun show in Arkansas, I think it was, where he said he spoke to people and they were all for these types of things that he was talking about. I honestly, when I heard him say that, I wish somebody would have just yelled out bullshit, because that's exactly what that is. You cannot convince me, especially in a place like Arkansas, that anybody at a gun show would ever say, yeah, no problem. We don't need ARs. I'm a hunter only. I don't need an AR and AK. I find that very, very hard to believe. And again, it's nothing more than him lying and trying to look good so he can pander for votes and votes that he's not going to get enough to win. So, it is what it is. He's an idiot. I think we all know he's an idiot. I think that most people will discredit what he's saying. So ultimately, it's not going to matter in the long run. KevCom is saying that it's sad how Californians move to Texas, love the state, and bring their leftist ideology to the state. It really has turned the main cities, Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, Austin, dark blue. And that is actually probably true for every major urban area that is being inundated with these types of people. New York State is kind of an interesting dynamic because, you have a lot of the rural areas that are very red, and then all of the urban areas of New York State are blue. And because the populations are so much denser in the urban areas, they actually win the elections. If you looked at Governor Cuomo's reelection, the entire state was red, with the exception of all the urban areas, and that's where he got the abundance of his votes from. So unfortunately, that's what's happening. They're going into the cities because the jobs are there, the housing is there, and it's affordable, and ultimately they're destroying everything, which is kind of funny because they're trying to escape exactly what they're recreating, which is crazy to me. Let's see. And I'm going through some of these guys, so just bear with me here. La la la. Yep, Beto is a fraud and a liar. Yep, he is a fraud, huge fraud. Let's see. Dallas is a sanctuary city. So is New York. The whole state actually is. Ranger 10, I think, says it best. I'm not going to repeat it. So you know what, guys? I think I'm going to wind up shutting this down a little bit early tonight. I've got a couple of things I need to do before I go to work tomorrow. So we're at the 56-minute mark. Usually I try to do this for an hour. So I think we're going to cut it a little bit short for tonight, because I didn't get enough time before this started to do what I need to do before I head back to work. So first off, just want to say thank you for everybody who joined us tonight. We actually hit almost 80 viewers, which is pretty cool, especially when you're doing a solo chat like this. But again, I try to do these every Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is pretty cool. I've got some really cool things coming in, hopefully sooner than later, but probably later. And, again, guys, just keep on supporting everybody out there who's just saying what needs to be said. Again, if you don't mind, go over to Subscribestar, $3 a month. I'm going to be doing a newsletter for you guys monthly. There is no, hey, you pay $20, you get this or whatever. And then if it grows, we'll start doing some giveaways there, but we'll see how it plays out. But again, I really appreciate you guys coming out, watching, supporting the channel. And I hope you guys have a great work week. And as always, everyone, stay safe, and freedom is never free.